back to Phenomenal Fuel. This week I'm going to be making a grilled cod with a Peruvian onion salad and boiled potatoes. I have my water boiling already. I'm going to go ahead and chop these potatoes up so I can get those in there. I think I might leave it just like that. This one's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to go ahead and quarter those. Water's boiling. I'm going to put a little more sea salt in there. Mario Batali says to salt your water to the salinity of the sea. And so, not sure exactly how you're supposed to judge that, but there's a little tip for you if you were wondering. And here I have some fresh garlic cloves. And I have 5 of these. I'm going to go ahead and chop them all up. What I do is I just smash them on the cutting board so that you can break it out of the skin, and that makes it a little bit easier to take off. I like to chop them up myself or mince them up myself, but you can use a garlic press, which is a little bit easier, and then you don't really have to worry about getting your fingers all garlicky. I'm going to turn the water down on like medium-low heat and let that boil with the lid on until they're fork tender. And also in the meantime, I have my grill heating up outside. It's going to get to about roughly like 500 or 600 degrees more than likely, but you can monitor that if you want to. I have a gas grill. If you're going to use a charcoal grill, obviously it's going to be a little bit different for you. I cut off those little hard ends and make sure I don't have any other skin on there. And then if you're going to use a garlic press, go ahead and press it in order to mince it, or if you want to, you can use already minced garlic, which I don't recommend because the flavor is a little bit different. It's not really the same. I don't know if I would recommend that, but it could work for this if you wanted to. So what we're gonna do with this is I'm going to lightly warm up some extra virgin olive oil, and we're gonna put the fresh garlic right in there and let it kind of simmer for a little bit, but really it's just gonna infuse. We're not gonna heat the oil to the point that it's frying the garlic, because that's not what you want it to do. You don't want the garlic to really cook in there. It's going to soften up and it's going to really infuse the oil, and that's going to make for such an amazing taste. You're going to love it. It's insane. And I recommend using a robust olive oil. A lot of people like to go for a lighter one where you don't really taste the bitterness or the actual olive taste. But I like that, and for this it's going to be really good because I actually like to taste that, and it's going to work well with the fish. So you can use it, leave it pretty choppy if you want to, but I'm going to try to get it as finely minced or chopped as I can. So that's done. Go ahead and put that in my little bowl. Not necessary, but my mom got me these and I was so happy because I need these for my cooking show. I need to be like professional, you know, on shows and everything. They just have their little bowls ready to go. Everything's already ready, and kind of speeds things up a little more, but I did want to show you guys how I get my garlic going. And another thing, if you're afraid to use fresh garlic because you don't want that smell on your fingers, you can wash your hands really well and scrub it with lemon and maybe a little salt. I think is a good trick to get that smell out of your fingers, which will linger for days if you let it. And so that's something that I hate, but I've gotten so used to because I use garlic all the time, every single day. So here I have wild caught cod. It's on some aluminum foil right now, so I'm gonna use my EVOO. I got this tiny bottle at Walmart for $1.74. You just want to give it a try and you want to give the robust taste a go, then go ahead and cop you some. Okay, so I'm gonna rub that down with a little olive oil. And let me show you so you guys know what to get. It's just this tiny bottle, gem. So give that a go. It's worth it, I promise. It just has that really, really good taste. And so what I'm gonna do, we're gonna keep this simple. This whole dish is very simple. You're not gonna have anything wild going on, but each flavor speaks for itself, and it's so, so good. Sea salt on both sides. Okay, flip that back. And then fresh ground black pepper. It's gonna be really good, and I'm gonna just leave that on the front side. The back side's not gonna get as much love. We're just gonna keep it really, really simple here. And I'm gonna use smoked paprika, but you can totally use regular paprika. The only thing with this is it has a little bit of a smoky kick, and it's a bit different. And this is from McCormick Gourmet. If you do wanna give that a try, you can just tell the difference. Oh, it smells like a barbecue. So good. Last time I made this dish, I used regular paprika, and it was much more mild, so I think I want to give it a little more of a kick this time and try the smoked paprika. But the grill itself is going to give it that smoked flavor as well, so it's not totally needed. And then of course the little cayenne pepper. A little shake of it. You don't want it to be spicy, but you do want that little kick, because you know how I am. What I was missing last time, and it's just something that I love to have whenever I'm doing a seafood dish, is Old Bay. So I'm gonna give that a little sprinkle, just because I love that taste, and I just felt like it really needed that last time. A little sprinkle, okay? And so I have my grill going already, so we're gonna go out there. It's really up to you how you want to do this part. I typically like it straight on the grill so I can get those nice grill marks and everything, but you might want to keep it on the foil. There is some olive oil on there to prevent some of that sticking, and I'm just gonna lay it across just like that. Okay? This is at about 600 degrees right now, which is pretty good. And so you pop those right on there. You don't have to watch it for too long. It doesn't take forever to cook, so I'm gonna leave that for now. We're gonna head back into the kitchen. It is sweltering outside. It's a good like 100 degrees, and it just rained, so it's extra humid out there. It's ridiculous. For our infused olive oil, I'm gonna go ahead and put my pot on to low heat. I'm gonna start at medium actually, just so we can get it heated up, and then we're gonna turn it low or all the way off. And I'm gonna basically just coat the bottom of the pan. Coat the bottom of the pot. And then we're gonna take your freshly minced garlic and put that right in there. And mix that around. And then once you start to see it simmer a little bit, you're gonna turn it all the way on low or turn it off and just let those flavors infuse. We're gonna check on our potatoes as well and see how those are doing. They're pretty much fork tender. If you can poke all the way through it like that. Ooh, look how hot that is. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat off and just let this sit in the water for a little bit. And what I'm gonna do, this is a trick of mine, just to kind of give the potatoes a little extra flavor. I'm gonna put some Creole seasoning in there, right in the water, and a little bit of adobo. And potatoes, they will absorb that flavor while they sit in the water and cook a little further. It's gonna be really good because this is simple and they're just boiled potatoes. We're not, putting any extra flavor on there aside from drizzling the olive oil over it. So that's what it is. Okay, now let me talk about this. This is the Peruvian onion salad that I made yesterday. It needs to sit overnight, so this is something that you're gonna have to do the day before if you do decide to do this recipe. You don't totally need to, but you do want those flavors to infuse as well as possible. All it is, I use Vidalia onions. Typically, I think you can use red onion. But when I went to La Granja in Miami, so good. If you're ever in Miami, try that place. It's insane. They have like a little cart with all these different kind of salsas, and this was one of them, and I have been thinking about it ever since. So I was trying to find a recipe for it, and the only ones I found online were with red onion, but I decided to use Vidalia onions just for a little bit more of a sweetness, because they did use white onions when I went there, so I decided to do it like that. Onions, fresh cilantro, and lime juice, and a little bit of vinegar. I didn't do the vinegar because I'm just not a vinegary person, and I didn't, want to do that for this. But I also did add cucumbers, which is a little bit different. They didn't do that. And then salt and pepper, and I let it soak overnight. Also with a little bit of olive oil. And I use the same kind of olive oil that I, just used. That's been soaking all night long. All those flavors are really nice and infused. The last time that I made this dish, I sliced the onions really fine and put it in with the infused olive oil, which was really, really good too. So if you want to do that, that's totally fine. That's a really good alternative for this dish. I just wanted to try this time just to give it a little bit different flavor. So now I see that my garlic is infusing, simmering a little bit, and I'm going to cut the heat off. I don't want that to cook. I don't want it to cook my garlic, so I'm going to take that off the heat and just let that sit, and it's going to infuse all those flavors. It's going to be really good. And you also, when you pour it on, you don't want it to be hot because it's oil. Obviously that's going to be insane to try to eat right off the bat. Let it warm down, get back down to room temperature, and let that garlic infuse. So the potatoes are done. Those are still simmering in the hot water, which is good. We have our salad good and ready. That is so fresh. I wasn't even expecting that. Goodness. Another thing that I added to this, and I was a little thrown off just now because I forgot about that little bit of heat that I added in there. My neighbor, she makes a fresh, like, really spicy green chili salsa from scratch. I'm not totally sure what she puts in it or what makes it so hot. I assume there's several different kind of peppers in there. She's Mexican, and so that was something that I added in here. I'm going to show you guys. She puts it in a little pickle jar, but let me just show you like the consistency of this. It's an actual like salsa, and one little drop of this, I promise you, is like on fire. It's hot, like it's crazy, but it's so good. And so I added a few drops of that into here, and so that's giving it a little kick, which I love. It's good. Let's go take a look-see at our fish out here. I did leave this all the way on low, but remember that the temperature inside is about 550, 600 degrees. So I'm gonna check this out. It looks good. So that side is pretty much done. I'm gonna carefully give it a flip. Carefully, yeah. I'm trying not to break it. That's a little bit hard to do, but let me make sure y'all can see this. So I just gave those a flip. A little bit of this meat came off. It's just getting a little bit to the grill, but that's okay. So it's not gonna need much longer, just probably like 3 to 5 minutes on this side. And so I'm gonna close it back up and we'll come back out and get it. Some of y'all might have seen this on my Instagram already. I'm gonna use the same plate. It's a pretty long plate. It's nothing extra, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the potatoes out. Those are perfect. Those have been soaking up all that good flavor. Super hot. And last time I swear I didn't even finish like half of these potatoes or but one fish, so whoo, don't press it. One last thing that I'm gonna do is add some sea salt and fresh pepper to the infused oil just to give it a little more taste. Yes. So let's go get our fish and we can plate. Alrighty, I'm gonna cut the heat off. Those look perfect. Pop those babies off the grill. Excellent. That looks super insane. All right. Okay, I'm sweating like a pig ready for slaughter. Okay. The fish looks insane. That got really, really nice and perfect on the grill. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use some tongs to grab some of this onion salad. So last time when I infused the onions with the oil, I just put that right on top of the fish. This time I'm just gonna put some of this salad in the middle. Cucumbers and everything. Yes. And that fresh cilantro is insane. Okay. So now we can take our infused oil, and I want those garlic chunks on there, and I'm gonna put that right over top of the fish. And also some on the potatoes. I want those garlic pieces in there. It's really good. And take the rest of the oil and just pour it on top. If you don't want a lot, that's okay. It's actually pretty light, you'd be surprised, and it's more like a sauce now. It's not really like a straight oil, you know, that you're not gonna feel heavy after this. I promise, it's really good. You might feel heavy from the potatoes though, not the oil. Really good flavor, right over top of the whole thing. And this fish dish with the potatoes is inspired by a Portuguese dish that is called bacalhau. Special kind of bacalhau. And they actually use a salted cod, which has to soak in and out of water to get some of that saltiness out and to kind of, you know, get the fish back firm again. And then they put it in like a really nice wood fire grill or something like that, and ooh, it just looks so insane. So I kind of wanted to try something similar, and this is really just my own take on that. And I hope you guys like it because it is ridiculous. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy this dish. Really simple flavors, but super insane. The simplicity just makes it that much better, and it speaks for itself, and it speaks volumes. This is wonderful for the summertime, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, so stay tuned for the next video, which is gonna be a watermelon pineapple sangria. Okay, let's get sizzling.